If you are trying to manifest something to no avail, this video is for you.
It's time! I'm so excited. So stunning. I had the most fantastically amazing day.
Well, hello and welcome back to the Bauer Beauty Experience. I'm Jenny Bauer, your host and the founder of a skincare company called Bauer Beauty. We design clinical formulations for sensitive skin. If that's you, check out the links in the description box. On this channel, we talk about beauty in all forms, mind, body, spirit. We talk about personal growth and day in the lives and things like that. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Today, we're talking about surrendering. This used to be a very annoying topic to me. If you are having a hard time manifesting, it's likely because you are frantically manifesting. You are grasping at straws. You are trying so hard to make something happen for you. This is genuinely the antithesis to manifestation. You're never going to be able to manifest while you're in this state. Manifestation is more of a scientific process than anything. And because it's more of a scientific process, you can pretty much count on it working for you, and that should put your mind at ease. But there is a very specific recipe that you must follow, and that is where people get tripped up. They're missing one of the components, which is detachment and engagement with their current experience. The part about engagement requires grit and humility because you will be put to task for things that you don't necessarily want to do. This isn't your preference to do these things, these assignments that you need to do in your life. These are not your first choices, but that is what has been assigned to you. So there's a book by Michael Singer called The Surrender Experiment. It's really good. It's all about basically how he stopped trying to force everything and instead just took the assignments from the universe. The way that he put it, it's like the universe is billions of years old. Why do we, in our measly existence, think that we can control something? Why don't we just trust what the forces are telling us to do? And the answer is because we're human and we have egos. Our ego is what is constantly getting in the way. So if you're having a hard time manifesting, you're not doing something wrong. Your ego has just hijacked your experience. For example, if you are frantically trying to manifest something, what is wrong with your life? Like, what is it that is wrong with your life that you need to manifest this thing so frantically? There are real needs that we might need to meet. The need for oxygen, the need for money. If you actually have those needs that are very pressing, then you need to do that. That is called like survival mode. That's something you actually need to figure out right now. You need to fill that need so you can have the patience to create what you actually want to create. For example, if you want to create a business and you cannot figure out a way to create a business that generates income, you still need income. So you need to be able to go get a job to fill that need so that you can endure what needs to be done. You can do what needs to be done for the business to work. Yes, you can manifest something, but you can't manifest it from a place of need. So first and foremost, get your most basic needs met. There's people all over the world that have their basic needs met that are desperately trying to manifest something. And this is only because they are avoiding the real work that needs to be done in their lives. You're never going to be able to manifest something if you are frantically trying to manifest it. You need to figure out how to get rid of the franticness. The franticness, like I said, only comes from your ego. It's your ego desperately trying to avoid what needs to be actually done. What I want to know right now is what is wrong with your life? Tell me right now, what is wrong with your life? You don't have all your needs met. You don't have the thing you think that you deserve. You don't have the life you think you deserve. You don't have the relationships you think you deserve. You don't have these things that you feel like you deserve, feel like needs. But if you re-examine, you may actually have your real needs met. When you are motivated from a place of desperation and like trying to make something happen because you need something because you're uncomfortable, you're not doing things out of principle. You're doing things out of ego. I encourage you to be more principled. You do the thing because that's what you do, because that's who you are. That's how you show up every day. This is just who you are and this is just what you do. It may take some experimenting, but essentially you need to boil your daily tasks down to what do you need to do because you need to do those things. Grasping energy, it feels like you're doing the thing for an outcome, and if you don't get that outcome, you feel so much resentment for doing the thing in the first place. There's an energy that you have about you when you're principled, when you just show up and do the job because it's your job, and you know for a fact it's where you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to do. All of the pieces to that phrase are very crucial. You show up every day because it's what you're supposed to be doing, and you do it because you know it's where you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to be doing. What are you doing that you need to not be doing? It really boils down to what you ought to be doing. There's a book called Governing Business and Relationships, and I'll insert it here. I recommend it. It's very interesting. I read it years ago. Written by like a Buddhist monk or something. You know, they're very like grounded, disciplined people. There's like a chapter or a sentiment like do what you ought to do. It recently resonated because I had an experience within the last 2 months about this topic, which is why I'm making this video. I witnessed like one of my best friends, something coming to fruition for her that was like unbelievable, and I saw how disciplined she was and how principled she was. She just did the thing every single day. She was so disciplined with putting the work in every day, and then she got the most perfect scenario handed to her, and it was because she earned it. And then I understood being principled from another angle. Also, a couple months ago, I made a video, 2 months until the end of the year, what are we gonna do to change our lives? And it was about showing up and doing the thing just because you committed to it. And so it started, this journey for me about surrender started with that. It started with just showing up because that's what I committed to because I'm doing this end of the year challenge. And then it was like, I like this vibe because I show up and I do the work no matter what, and I don't care how many views the video gets, I don't care how much engagement it gets, I don't care if I make money of it. Like, it's really like I just show up and do it because it's what I do, because that's my principle, because I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing, because it's what I ought to be doing, because I'm in the middle of owning a skincare business and being a skincare influencer. What in the world else do I think I should be doing? Do you know what I mean? If you're like curious about your purpose, if you're curious about, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing with my life, chances are it's like what you're doing. It's really like what you're doing, and maybe you are neglecting your purpose in some way, shape, or form. I would encourage you to look at your life and think about what you should be doing, and don't judge it. Sometimes we judge our tasks from the universe, from God. We're like, no, that's not a strong enough task. No, that's not a substantial enough task. No, that's not a task of like enough magnitude. I want to do something bigger and more important. It's not our job to judge the task that has been given to us. And that reality is going to help you to understand what you have been assigned in your life at the moment. We can never go to the next level in life without completing the task, without fully exalting and expanding within our current level. So until you have expanded fully within your current level, you're not going to go to the next level. The quicker you can really get engaged with those tasks, and the quicker that you can fulfill the assignment, the quicker you'll go to the next level. But of course, you can never fill it with a frantic energy. It's really just more so becoming very aware of the things that you have. That realization started for me, like I said, when I started showing up just out of principle. It's really just about showing up and doing the work because that's what you do. It's not showing up, doing the work so the work can prove to you that you are in the right place. It's not showing up to the job so that you can be like validated that you're doing the right thing, or that the job is proving to you that it's worth the output. In our energy, that's what we're asking for when we're desperately trying to manifest something. We're asking the result of the action show us immediately that our output is worthy of our effort. The output that we are giving is worthy of us giving it by seeing this instant result. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when we are like in a frantic manifestation, when we have not surrendered to our tasks in this life, then we are asking for validation every day. Validation that we're in the right place, validation that we're doing the right thing, validation that our effort is not wasted, validation that we are not showing up in vain. But ultimately, you have to remove those ideas. You're not going to get that. If that's what you're asking for, you're going to be constantly suffering. If your groundedness and your assuredness are things that are outsourced, feelings that you're going to get from the outside world, you're going to be constantly grasping. Like, please tell me, validate me, please show me this is what I'm supposed to be doing because this is painful to do otherwise. And you need to be able to give that to yourself and do the thing because it's what you're supposed to do. When you understand that showing up and doing the thing is just what you do because you know it's what you ought to be doing, you're not looking for instant gratification. You're not looking for the outside world to validate you. You don't have this constant need for validation that you're in the right place or that you're doing the right thing or that your efforts are not in vain. You already know this is your assignment. This is what you're supposed to be doing. You don't need that proof. You don't need the proof. You are just doing it because that's what you're supposed to do. You're principled about it. In order to release attachment, it's something that you need to work on and then eventually will click. It is something that you study, you think about, and you kind of wiggle your way there. Eventually something clicks and you're like, oh, I get it. And then you surrender. I said at the beginning of this video, like, what is wrong with your life exactly? When I look back to the things that I thought were wrong with my life, it's like kind of silly because I wasn't even looking at the things that I had. So another piece of this pie is gratitude. It's like another word that used to really trigger me. And I think that you don't want to think like a peasant. You don't want to just like accept the bare minimum. You want to fight for more and have standards. But I thought I needed more in order to feel grounded. I thought I needed new things in order to feel grounded. But ultimately the thing I was going for was peace and groundedness. Like 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I would have died to be where I am today. And so like kind of having that perspective made me just relax into this mode of being like, this is my current task. This is my current situation. I have like an abundance of things in my life that are incredibly amazing. And my life is just going to keep getting better. Do I have every single thing I want? No. But I have every single thing I need and then some. You might be missing just how rich your life is. And this is one of like the cardinal sins I feel like that we partake in our lives. It's like, look back 10 years ago. Guaranteed there are things in your life that you wish you would have appreciated more. That, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't appreciate that. Can't believe I missed that whole segment of my life because I was so worried about the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. We're only robbing ourselves when we refuse to look at what we have been blessed with. And so, yeah, you may not have everything that you want. For me, I have like a strong ego response to the idea of surrender and gratitude. I have realized that's like an entitlement mentality. I feel entitled to the next level. I just feel entitled to it. And yes, of course I've worked hard. And yes, of course I've made sacrifices like beyond belief. And yes, of course I have put time in. But God and the universe has said you have not put enough time in. You have not finished your tasks in this current level. So you're not entitled to anything. You're not entitled just because you think you've put enough work in, and just because you think that you've done enough, just because you think you are entitled now to the next level and you've earned it, it doesn't mean that you actually have. So that's like a constant ego battle that we have with the universe. Us thinking that like, oh yeah, well I have completed my task and I can't believe that thing isn't mine yet. But you may not have completed your task yet. And there may be something that you need to learn. That's why humility is required in manifestation. One way to make your current reality more pixelized and for you to kind of surrender to it and understand like what I mean by engaging with the present is, let's say you wish you could afford to go on an extravagant vacation, but you can't. Why do you wish to go on an extravagant vacation? What do you want out of that? You want to be inspired. You want to be excited. You want to marvel at things. You want to take cute pictures. You want to buy cute outfits. You want to buy all like a new wardrobe, whatever it is. Realize that like the universe is not robbing you of those feelings. Those feelings are available for you now in another capacity. Like those emotions can be fulfilled in another way for you in the moment. So you need to think, okay, well, how can I be inspired in the present moment? What can I marvel at in the present moment? What can I be engaged with in the present moment? And you may say, like, you may have a strong resistance to this exercise or any of the exercises in here because you're like, no, because I hate everything in my life and therefore that's not fair. And I need something better and I deserve something better. I'm not surrendering and I'm not doing this and playing this game and I'm not doing this because I'm not getting what I want. So why would I give the universe what it wants? And you may have this attitude, right? But this is just entitlement attitude, and it's unfortunately you're never going to win against God. You're just never going to win. This is why humility is such like a crucial part, like I said, of manifestation, is because even if you have a strong resistance to buying into your present reality, you just have to find a way to do it. You always have to find a way to buy into the present moment. Sometimes that can just be repeating like an affirmation, like I love my life, I love my life, I love my life, I love my life. Maybe you can't find anything in your life that you love, and you just have to keep repeating that affirmation until your mind switches, because your mind is a tool. So just tell it that you love your life, and then your mind will start finding reasons to love your life. Maybe you can just kind of realistically look at your life and be like, oh my God, I have so much. I have been blessed with so much. And yes, there are gaping holes, and sometimes the gaping holes of like the things that we need and want are more loud. The ways that I like to release attachment until it snaps, right? Because eventually it'll snap and you'll be like, oh, I'm totally detached. But up until that point, what I like to do is obviously become aware that you are attached. Become aware of what attachment feels like. It feels like you need something to happen. It feels like a need that needs to be met, that if it doesn't get met, you'd feel like you can't breathe. It's like that need, like I need something to happen. That's attachment. So recognize attachment and then do an EFT tapping around it. Just look up like Brad Yates attachment, releasing attachment, or EFT tapping, releasing attachment. There's videos out there. So EFT tapping is like one of my favorite ways to do anything and everything. Like gratitude affirmations in the morning or at any time are amazing. Just look up gratitude affirmations on YouTube, and videos like this that help you to understand more context. You know, we need sometimes explanations of why things need to be done the way that they need to be done. So if you're working towards a goal and you are struggling and you can't figure out how to manifest something, you're not doing anything wrong. You are on the right path. And so that's what I wanted this video to be about today. And I hope that you found it useful, and please like this video and subscribe if you're not already. And I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.